Hi, welcome. My name is Jade Piper and I'm an aspiring publicist, and this is my internship experience. I secured a fashion PR internship with TaylorMade Communications. It's a fashion, beauty and lifestyle PR agency, and their main goal is to create impactful communications that make brands resonate in culture.
I'm a little bit nervous, but I'm more excited. I hope it all goes well. I wish you luck.
I had a bunch of roles as an intern, but some of them included assisting with send-outs, showroom assistance, tracking media coverage, media list management and curation, client communication, and upcoming event organisation. Now, as much initiative as I tried to show, most of my days did look a lot like this. Okay, so it wasn't boxes of shoes and clothes all the time. A lot of the time I was working with spreadsheets. The company has a very intricate system for tracking everything from influencers they work with to pieces from brands they represent. In this clip, I'm locating media contact details and I'm adding them to the fashion spreadsheet. In PR, we call this compiling a media contact list. A highlight of my internship was taking part in the preparations for TaylorMade's biannual showings. There's a huge emphasis on earned media at the company. So the event is intended as a publicity boost. It's a fun and engaging way to generate exposure for the agency's clients. On the outside, my day looked like this: organising collections by brand, setting up the space, and steaming, and steaming, and steaming. But what I'm actually doing is visual merchandising. By making the pieces visually appealing and desirable, the event attendees will be attracted to them, trying them on, photographing them, sharing them online, hopefully tagging the brand. And if they do, what's that called? Earned media. My favourite part of my internship, besides setting up this gorgeous showroom and networking with the influencers, was collecting social media coverage. Following the biannual showings, I was tasked with the job of going through the list of attendees and checking their socials for any coverage on the brands that we represent. I recognised terms such as impressions and ephemeral content from my studies, and these were really useful for this task. Brand exposure is the lifeblood of this business, and I felt really excited to be a small part of this really big process. I was also really proud of myself for recognising so many terms and practices from my studies and seeing them play out in the business as well. I experienced two major trust screw-ups firsthand during my time interning. The agencies built this network of connections, and these are heavily based on trust between their influencers, media outlets, and their clients, the brands. Screw-up number one came during an interview where a model was wearing one of the brands that TaylorMade represent, and the brand was incorrectly mentioned in both digital and print media. So crisis PR strategy came into play. The journalist was contacted immediately to organise for the digital version to be amended, and as for print media, thanks to a great relationship between the agency and the outlet, a retraction would be printed in the next issue. This next one was a doozy. Influencer marketing is huge with the agency, and the way that it works, the agency is loaned fashion pieces from the brands that they represent. The influencers have access to borrow these pieces, and in return, they commit to a dedicated social media post tagging the brand. Now, the agency described this to me as paid media, which confused me at first because there's not an exchange of money for the exposure, but the influencers often receive gifts and other perks, which solidifies the exchange as receiving incentive for their work. Now, in this case, the brand chose to profit off an image posted personally by an influencer without her permission. And unfortunately, this isn't the first time this specific influencer has been taken advantage of, so she was obviously furious. She was demanding that she was owed compensation for her work and that TaylorMade Communications personally recover the funds themselves. This is so damaging to TaylorMade's network because the influencer now has reason to badmouth the brand and won't be likely to work with the brands represented by the agency if this is how she's going to be treated. I was reminded of my crisis PR unit during my degree, and these incidents taught me that you truly never know when crisis will strike, so having a strategy in place is absolutely essential. I didn't actually see the outcome of the second incident firsthand, so just based on my education, how I would approach it is to limit the fallout by taking responsibility, be sincere and genuine with my network to salvage that relationship, and above all, apologise for the occurrence, making it clear that this just won't happen again.
Okay, I had to add this note in. Something cool happened today.
My supervisor was sitting next to me and she leans over the desk and she goes, "Whipping? Are we whipping now or are we whipping at 12:30? Whipping? Whipping. WIP. Work in progress." Shout out to Susanna Bensko, my tutor from last semester, who said there's going to be slang, there's going to be lingo, and you've got to know it. WIP, work in progress. I really enjoyed my time working with TaylorMade Communications. I loved the PR work that I did, and I am very glad that I paid attention in class. This experience was so valuable because it really did reflect a lot of the theories and practices that I recognised from my degree. So, would I like to secure a role like this? Yeah, maybe. But I'm going to continue interning to experience different kinds of PR and really hone my skills as a PR professional. So I guess just wish me luck for the future. Bye!